Legends, we are live. How is everybody doing? We are going to be analyzing this drop. Is it the moment to panic? Are we going to break down? Are we going to go to much lower levels? We'll be analyzing here the head and shoulder pattern, right? The head and shoulder. People are eyeing Bitcoin today to see what it's going to do in this week. Are we going to break down, guys? This does not look good at all, right? It doesn't look good. We're just at the neckline. We're at the value area low of the entire range of the last few months, right? We don't have any volume after this neckline, right? There's hardly any big volumes, no major big support levels. There's a couple of daily levels down here below $90,000. Are we going to successfully break down? Because I know everybody's looking at this, right? We all looking at the neckline. We all looking at the low $90,000 range. Is it going to finally break today, tomorrow? Are we going to get a big fat bounce, first of all, to liquidate any breakout traders that are entering shorts just at the neckline? They're trying to speculate that we are going to move down. It does not look great. This is not a very nice pattern. How far could we go if we break down with high volume? What are the levels of support? And also, what is the breakout fake out scenario where we do come back up from the neckline and in the next coming weeks we start getting a massive recovery? We're going to talk about several scenarios, how to recognize that sign of strength that we could have on a possible fake out. Okay, we don't know that it's going to fake out until you actually fake out. So how do you recognize that? Well, you need the movement down and the recovery back above that neckline, closing 4-hourly candles, even a daily candle above the $90,000 range with a strong pump. Then we can recognize that it's been a fake out and then we could recover. However, it's still very soon, right? We haven't even attempted to have a solid breakdown from this neckline. We're going to be zooming in on the lower time frames, the 1-hourly time frame, trying to understand here this movement here that's happened throughout the last couple of weeks to say, hey, does the price, does the volume tell us that we're going to project to lower levels? We're going to be analyzing the waves that have happened throughout the last few days as well and try and build up a solid technical analysis and trading strategy for the next coming hours and the next coming days, guys. So make sure to stay tuned. There is some news that I want to talk about. Of course, we do have Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy, right? Buying more Bitcoin. Of course he is, right? Of course, he always buys at high levels, at low levels. He's here for the long term, right? So there's a lot of news that I want to talk about. We're going to be taking a look also at the S&P 500 dollar index. Looks pretty strong. Can the dollar index top out and start reversing in the coming days? That is what we need for the pumps in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, because a strong dollar index is not going to give us any confidence to buy these risky assets, right? These cryptocurrencies. I have to say, altcoin portfolio is not looking good, guys. I'm also in the same boat, all right? We've been buying many different altcoins throughout the last few months. Some of them are almost at break even, only managed to lock some profits on a few of them. And I am in the same boat, guys, okay? So holding on this, bloody C, right, that we do have right now on altcoins. I'm not happy with my altcoin bags. Just about a month ago, they were in very good profits, right? And now some of them very low unrealized profits, some at break even, and even some, holding a 10-20% unrealized loss. So what do we do? Do we hold on? Do we sell? Do we panic sell? We're going to be talking about that as well, guys, in this live stream. So make sure to stay tuned. We need a strategy. We need to look at the charts to see what could happen. All right. And do not panic. Right. So let's go right away. Waiting for the legend. Juani, how are you doing? Thanks for joining. Aditya, my man. Werner, hello. How are you? Gulian, nice to see you. Guy Lian. Spaceland, hello Andy, how are you? Alessio, Crypto Big Brains, here he is. Can't wait for this alpha. Smash the like button, says Crypto Big Brains. We're going to be analyzing Bitcoin here very, very carefully, all right, with this area that we are right now, the neckline, right? The head and shoulder. You might be seeing this throughout, X and throughout maybe other YouTube channels as well, right? The head and shoulder and the neckline, right? The breakdown. Are we going to go down to 80K, 70K? We need to consider other types of technical analysis and not the classic head and shoulder move down, breakdown. Could we go down to around about $75,000, right? $75,000. If this were to be that easy, then let's just jump into a short position and take profits, right, at the $80,000 range, right? Easy peasy, technical analysis, head and shoulder. This is going to break down. Let's all short together. Not that easy, not that easy. There's some other scenarios that have to be mentioned, especially on the lower time frame, right? Considering those levels here of confluence that we do have on the chart. Now we do have to put this weekly level. We've got a new weekly level here after the weekly close, all right, at 98,331. Very important, the point of control of the range. Let's just zoom. I was going to say zoom in, but we're going to keep it here on the higher time frame, right? We're going to keep it on the higher time frame because what we need to understand is from all-time high, what kind of movement that we are moving, that we've formed, right, throughout the last few weeks. Is it extremely bearish? Is it very, very bearish, right? Is this looking like a very strong impulsive move to the downside, right? In a 5-wave move, and this is corrective, and we are just building up here the third wave that's going to be devastating, which is the breakout of the neckline of the head and shoulder, right? Because third waves are the most powerful waves, right? And could this be a third wave? We're going to be analyzing this situation, or could this be an ABC move or a WXY? Is this still part of a correction? All of this is just going to be a lot of bearishness, a lot of FUD, a lot of panic selling, and then the classic scenario happens where we start recovering above $90,000 in the next coming weeks, and we resume the bull run, right? We're going to be analyzing this higher time frame scenario because if this does happen after a breakdown, we know that there is a high chance that recovery is coming. Recovery is coming. We'll be analyzing this as an ABC move. And the worst case scenario, if this does get a movement up, right, and we get that movement back down, it's been a fake out and a fake breakout, right, and we're coming back down to test the lows, then we'll be forming a contracting diagonal, which most of the people will see this as a descending wedge pattern, and we're going to absolutely moon. But I would consider this scenario bearish, as I would see it as a contracting diagonal in a 5-wave move down, meaning that the breakout could be another fake out, and then we entering a devastating move down, right? But all of these are, you know, speculative scenarios. Of course, we need to see the formation of the chart. For the moment, we're just dancing around in that neckline. So overall, we got the bearish case scenario, which is wave 1, wave 2. We're going to start breaking down here very aggressively. We've already formed the first initial wave 1, right, from the wave 3. So we could be in the formation of the wave 3, right, from the higher time frame wave 3, because you got 1, 2, 3, and now you got the first one and the second one, and now you are building up the third wave down, and this is from a higher time frame third wave, right? That's like the extreme bearish case scenario, that the movements down are going to be pretty heavy and aggressive. What would be the bullish case scenario, right? The short-term bearish but overall bullish case scenario here for the next coming weeks, right? That will be a fake down here to the downside, where we're looking at this as a WXY, an ABC, right? But a little bit more complex. WXY right over here. And of course, what we are looking at is just a zigzag, right? What we're looking at here is a double zigzag, right? Where you do have a zigzag right over here, zigzag also right over here, because this one was very, very complex. You got this movement here, then this one, and then this one. Then movement down, right, where it's going to fake out and then come back up. We need to see a strong pump so we can realize that this could be the end of that correction, right? So that's a little bit of higher time frame speculation, right? Higher time frame speculation. But we need to zoom in and talk about the lower time frame. This is what's going to give us all of the information, right? Regarding the other live stream that we did do on Friday, we were talking about the high probability of those highs being taken based on the rejection, based on the movement down that we had on the news, right? We did have some news event coming out here. By the way, if you are new to the channel, welcome. Make sure to destroy the like button. You will enjoy the technical analysis. Hopefully, we've got a great community, over 800 people watching. Let's just check the like button, guys. If the like button is doing absolutely awesome, and we need to understand a little bit of this move on the lower time frame on Bitcoin, okay? Like button over 100. We can get over 200 likes, guys. Come on, share some love, just for the pure technical analysis and trying to understand what the heck is going on right over here with this move, right? Pretty aggressive move with some high volume. This is not looking great, I have to be honest, right? Not looking that great, just dancing around here at this $90,000 range. Not looking good, especially when you're coming from a major move down, right? Not looking absolutely great. Let me know if you can hear me, guys, because I'm here just on the live, right? 109, 167 likes. Low 90K means panic buy to me. Absolutely correct. We can hear you. Absolutely awesome, Darius. I put stop loss at 92,000. Yeah, look, we are moving down. So we are moving down pretty aggressively. Let's try and understand a little bit what the heck happened here throughout the weekend. Classic sideways momentum, no big major moves. On the previous stream, we very much realized that we could be having another leg to the upside to claim these highs. Now, that was pretty quick on Friday evening. We hit the highs and we started rejecting and ranging throughout the weekend. Very classic for the weekend to be a ranging market, right? That's what usually happens. Just movements of 1,000, maybe 2,000, right? Up and down. Classic range here throughout the weekend. Beautiful swing failure pattern very early this morning from those highs. Anybody that was awake, this happened at 2 o'clock in the morning my time. The best swing failure patterns happen when I'm sleeping. You just test those highs right over here and get the rejection, giving you that entry and that stop loss. Kind of, you know, you need to start sleeping during the daytime and going live stream early morning, right? 2 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, where we do get those interesting moves. The Chinese, the Asian market, right, that move the price of Bitcoin with volatility. That's what happened very early this morning. Beautiful swing failure pattern here. Let me know, anybody in the comment section, if they managed to short that rejection from the highs of Friday. Just a liquidity grab, test the highs, boop, 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 moving down pretty aggressively right now. Now, let's just do a recap on analysis here that we did on Friday. This was pretty simple to understand, and this is where you do get major big opportunities, where you understand the break of the downtrend structure here with lower lows and lower highs. This movement that we had on Friday confirmed a break of structure, but not for long, right? We were just looking for the highs to be claimed, because what do you get when you have a first initial wave up here? We know that the market moves in either 3-wave moves or in 5-wave moves, right? You either move in 3 waves, 3 waves, 3 waves, and form a triangle. You either form a zigzag. You either form 5 waves up and then a corrective structure in 3, right? We know that the market moves in 3 waves or in 5 waves, always. It could be very complex or very easy. In this case, when you have an initial wave to the upside right over here, breaking the local market structure, the lower highs and lower lows, we were very much confident on the stream that at some point these highs were going to be taken again. Why? Because we need either a 3-wave or a 5-wave move up. So we only got 1 wave. All right, the question was, are we going to take out the low first and form a flat, right? This was a great longing scenario. If we would have come down to the lows after breaking structure, it was a long attempt back up to the highs. And then when we zoom in on the lower time frames, just a little brief explanation here, guys, on what happened, right? Because those highs were finally taken. Anybody that attempted any long position here, right, or here, which bounced at the previous day point of control, right, when we do take a look at the session volume profile, that previous day point of control acted very nicely as support, right? That was exactly where the price got the bounce. And fun fact about this scenario is that we knew that there was very high probability in claiming the highs of Friday based on the news dump, right? We got the news dump right over here. Let's just zoom in, right? and just understanding, right, the Elliott wave theory, explanation, and invalidation, where you have your first initial wave 1 or wave A, your wave 2 or wave B, then this movement right over here, and you're speculating for another wave down in a wave 4. Now, this ended up in a complex correction. When you move up like this and you already claim, right, hang on a second, my bad. You already claim here the pivot low. That is an invalidation looking at Elliott wave theory. This can no longer be a strong impulse, meaning that you're forming a sideways corrective structure and you're very likely going to take out this high, which finally did, right? This did not look impulsive with this huge major bounce. That was already an alarm that you had to have, saying, okay, this is actually looking pretty good. The retracement and lower levels could be a level to consider a long position to claim the highs right over here, right? Which finally did get a pump, hit the highs and rejected from those highs. So let's try and understand and map what could be the next scenarios, right? This is what we do, right? We try and map several scenarios and where we could find some trading opportunities. By the way, anybody that is interested in trading, you got Weeks, a great platform. You just need an email and a password and you got the exclusive bonus down below. You got fee discount, $20,000 deposit bonus where you deposit, you trade, and you're going to get airdrops to your platform, guys. Check out Weeks. You have the link down below in the description, okay? Great, because you just need an email and a password. So let's try and map here before we go through the comment section. What the heck has happened here? This right over here could have been a very large complex correction move, because in the end, you do have a very choppy zigzag right there. Once you start moving down here, this is not good news. Why isn't it good news, right? Why isn't this good news? When you break out from a high right there in a wave 1, wave 2, you want to start seeing steam, right? If this has to be a third wave, you want to see a big breakout, right? We understood that the highs were going to be claimed here with high probability. So, you know, without a doubt, we want to see how that breakout is going to happen, right? If you do this, obviously, you know, it looks pretty damn good. But if you just test the highs in that 3-wave move, right, and then you start this choppiness, you know you could be in serious trouble. This does not look powerful, right? This is a confirmation. The rejection that we had here on Friday from the highs was a confirmation that this is not looking good. So you need to be very much aware anything that happens in this area that you're possibly going to roll back down. Why? Because you basically did not break with any power after testing the Friday highs. So I'm already not leaning too bullish with this breakout, right? I'm very, very much aware of the situation that all of this is corrective and we're going to end up rolling down to test the lows. So we're going to be mapping right now this movement that happened throughout the weekend and this movement down, because what we want to map is the next scenarios that could happen based on this recent move down. We'll be doing the counting, looking at Fibonacci and looking at the probabilities for the bulls or the bears, depending on what levels are hit next, right? So if we hit this next level, we could possibly be doing this. If we hit this other level, we could possibly be doing that, right? So that's how we do it. We map the possible next scenario, just like we did on Friday, realizing that this movement up after the news event was very good for the price action to come and hit the highs at some point in the next coming hours, which we did, finally getting that wick up. So we need to map this scenario. This is very complex, right? This is the kind of move that nobody wants to count and try and realize where the heck are we, right? Because you got a 3-wave move right over here. Then from the rejection of Friday, we got a movement down, a little bit of a bounce right there, another movement down right over here. And then this movement, right, that looks like a little bit of a flat. So can we consider this an end of a corrective move? It could be a WXY, and WXYs are awful, guys. They are horrible to count because you can form a zigzag, then another zigzag, and then a flat on the Y, and they are just a pain in the ass, right? Let's just leave them that way, because on a Y scenario, you could form also a triangle, or you could form a double zigzag where you finally, break out here very aggressively and then move down. They are horrible, guys, to try and map where you at. With this high over here, you could have attempted a swing failure pattern. If you would have mapped this throughout the weekend, you say, okay, a zigzag up, a movement down, a low, a high, a low. You got another zigzag on X, which is very common. And then the Y, you need to try and map what the heck's going to happen here. Are we going to form a triangle and then break down? Are we going to form a flat, which we did, and then we came down? So this flat, without a doubt, was the bomb diggity here for the trade, right? This was the actual moment to take into consideration for a short position that happened at 2 o'clock in the morning my time. So guess what? I did not short that level right over here because I was sleeping, but it would have been a pretty interesting short to take. So now the movement down, guys, now is where, okay, we are bearish. This is moving down. Oh my goodness. This is horrible. This is horrible, right? This is really bad. The other scenario that for me, doesn't make that much sense, but we have to consider it, right? We need to map this scenario and consider the possibility, let's get this out of the way, is could we form a flat from here? Could this hold in the next coming hours and start recovering and claim the highs here? And now we're forming an A, B, C flat. Because in an A wave of a flat, you can form a WXY, right? The question is here, this does not look like a B wave. You need to form a 3-waver, right? This can be counted as a 3-waver. Can this be counted as a 3-waver? Can we get hope for a flat scenario here? It doesn't look like it. This movement down is very powerful and is looking very straight. The only 3-wave count that you have here possibly is this one. So is it possible for a long position here? Absolutely yes. You could be looking for longs at very low levels, managing risk. If this ends up pumping very aggressively, we could take out those highs. We could. This could be a good risk reward trade, but nobody wants to long against this trend, right? Nobody wants to long when you're moving down like this. My goodness, right? You need to know exactly what levels you would want to long, right? The choppiness, the local double bottoms, we are kind of holding, right? When we do zoom out, we are hitting that level on Coinbase, right? The lows on Coinbase, let me just put this. I want to talk about 𝗖 later on, because 𝗖 is going to be this is going to be one of the cryptos that I'm going to go pretty heavy, guys. Like looking for a quick 3x. Well, not a 3x, but not a quick 3x. It's going to take several weeks, if not a few months. But let's just go here to the Coinbase chart, because there is a very disturbing wick. My goodness, what's going on today? There's a disturbing wick on Bybit or the futures platforms that did take out that low, right? Did take out the low from the 26th of November. This is basically where we kind of swing failure pattern, right? If you are analyzing the charts on futures like myself, well, this is not going to give you this level, right? This level is not a level on futures, because we had a major wick down on the 6th of December, right? That claimed that low from the 26th of November. But on the spot exchanges, such as Coinbase, right, the highest one here in the US, that wick did not happen. Or on Binance Spot, right? You did not hit that low. So this is a higher time frame low that on spot exchanges was not hit. You need to understand that people are interested in buying at higher time frame, higher lows, right? Higher time frame, higher lows, people are interested in buying, right? This is why you claim that low on Coinbase, and what happens? You bounce from it. People buy at the lows, right? So now we are at this low right over here, and we kind of wanting to hold, right? We kind of wanting to hold here, right? It's we've claimed the lows from the 26th of November. Now this is kind of holding. There is a little bit of limit buys. The price is bouncing ever so slightly, not much. About $1,000, right? It's just the main reaction because you are going to see people interested in buying at a higher time frame, higher low. In this case, the 26th of November on all of the spot exchanges. So let's dive in a little bit further in the technical analysis and try and map the situation, right? Because overall, I am not too convinced of this ABC flat. Not too convinced. Not too convinced. So, and that has to do with this local move down, right? There is a possibility. Let's leave it that way. But the price should be bouncing in this zone. We get Fibonacci extension. We know that the target zones of an A, B, C, the B target areas, you want to see it in between the 236, right? The 105 and the 236. So you get Fibonacci extension from this low to this high, right? And we try and analyze here the extension moves most commonly in between the 105 and the 1236. Hang on a second, guys. Let's see if I can reverse this at some point throughout the stream. There we go. This is where we at, right? You're getting to the lows from the 26th of November, classic zone where people are just going to put limit buy orders, right? Either for longs with leverage or for spot buys. So you get this small little reaction based on the short-term bullish case scenario, which is not looking too great, guys. We're just analyzing this scenario because of the sake of it, just realizing that, hey, in an A wave of a flat, you can form a WXY. It's not the most beautiful, but if the price were to bounce, if the price were to get a significant bounce, which, you know, it's not looking too great, legends, but hey, this is the moment where, oh, you are panicking here. Well, maybe it is the time to buy. Just want to be aware because this movement down looks quite impulsive. It does look pretty strong. And it doesn't look very three-wavy. There is a three-wave move down, I have to say. There is a three-wave. The moment you claim that low, it will not be looking too three-wavy, right? It won't be looking too three-wavy because you got the movement down of the rejection of the swing failure pattern from the Friday highs. Beautiful short, guys. Let me know anybody that shorted right over here because this was the short to get in. My goodness, you got an internal flat as well on a possible Y of a WXY. Was really the short to be taken on the rejection. After the rejection, you short down here, right? Stop loss at the highs and consider that movement down to test the lows from last week. Only if someone had the philosopher's stone, says Peter. Yeah, absolutely. Let's consider some scenarios here. Woo. If this were to be a three-waver, we do not want that low to be taken. This could have been the short-term bounce, and we already formed a five-wave move down here. This will be looking very five-wavy if we do hit the lows. Eventually, we would be expecting a bounce. Okay, so we're going to talk about the, possible long scalp setup. All right, because if we do break down, we're going to be analyzing that scenario here, guys. We're going to be analyzing this scenario right away. The different levels, trading opportunities that we have either here or either here for a short. We're going to have to be looking very, very careful. And obviously taking into consideration the ABC flat, right? ABC flat, which does not look that great, I have to be honest. Does not look that great, but we need to consider it because there is a three-wave move here. There is a ABC. Maybe this has been a three-wave move hitting the 2-to-1 extension. This is 2 times longer than this wave right over here. Very rare and very aggressive, I have to say, for a three-wave move. But that's the only thing that we have into consideration, right? To take into consideration for that flat. I think it's very, very hard for that scenario to happen. So what we need to do right now is even zoom in on lower time frames to map here this move. I mean, I'm not too convinced about that ABC flat, but it's the only local bullish case that we would have the price to start pumping very aggressively. And have to say, this pump does not look too convincing, right? This recovery does not look too convincing. We're going to be analyzing a little bit here if we do have some local bullish CVD divergence. Apparently we're not. Apparently we're not. We're getting some longs entering here on Bybit. But this would be the scenario. Can this be a three-wave structure? Can the lows maintain? Can we maintain these lows right over here? Is it possible that we do hold on these lows and we do form a higher low here and start recovering? Right? The bearish case scenario, the overall bullish scenario is we have finished a three-wave structure here. We've claimed the lows from last week, right? Even the 26th of November. And we're going to hold and we're going to get a bounce of a few $1,000s. I have to say it is a possible scenario. We are in the target zones of the flat. We are in the target zones of the flat. Right? Which is that 105 and the 1236. This is the classic zone where you have the B wave flat scenario. For the moment, it is holding. So anybody that wants to take that risk long, it is a risky long, but it could pay off in the next coming hours. But it is, without a doubt, a little bit risky. The bearish case for the next coming hours, right? If these lows were claimed, I think we should be forming another wave up here, or either a flat locally, just because after this aggressive move down, it seems like that this movement up is very one wavy and is very short in time compared to the movement down, right? When we do take a look at Fibonacci time, we want a little bit of, you know, the price to be a little bit symmetrical, right? When we do have an aggressive move down, we want the timing to at least cross the 0.382, potentially the 1-to-1 on the correction, and then start dropping down if that were to be the case. So for this to drop down very aggressively from this moment, you know, I think has low probability. The main reason why is because when you dump like this, you want the timing, right? Not the same, but similar, right? Close to the same timing, right? Either crossing the 0.382 time, the 1-to-1 timing. When you do take a look at this movement down, right, it is pretty obvious to see you got the movement down and you got this movement up and then continuation. So when you take a look at Fibonacci timing here from the start of the wave to the end of the wave, you can see how you at least cross the 0.382 Fibonacci time right over here, hitting the 0.618, almost hitting the 1-to-1, slightly before the 1-to-1, and then moving down, right? So the timing is important of the corrections, right? So this is why, taking a look at the timing from this latest move down, we have not crossed the 0.382, meaning that we could be ranging, and that if we do claim the low here, I would consider a possibility of a larger bounce to form a flat and then move down, right? So there is a long setup. There is a long setup just based on the timing, based on this little bounce, right? That has broken the local structure. So we need to consider the possibility of a wick down here to the lows where we do have a daily. This might happen on the stream where we're just moving down, guys. Right, we do have a daily level around about 89,900. Very interesting, guys. The daily level is always a good level to consider a reaction. And based on the reaction that we do get here, tap the daily, get back above the daily, we can consider a movement up to come back to the lower highs. So this is a long setup. I mean, there is a long setup right over here. That is very possible. You have the timing of this movement down, that it would be rare to successfully break down from these lows, right? It would be rare to break down to $87,000. It would be rare. just because this bounce would not be enough for a corrective move, right? You need to see a little bit more of waves, momentum, get people bullish on a pump, and then back down, right? So I am considering the possibility that might happen on stream here to get that wick down below $90,000. Let's get the dip below $90,000 because we haven't hit 90K. We just hit 90,200. Nice round psychological number, $90,000. Get the dip down to 89,900, right, daily, and then get the reaction bounce potentially to sweep up these lower highs that we formed throughout the last few hours. It is a setup. It's a possibility, something that I would be eyeing. Now let's talk about a short, because I don't want to short at the low levels here, right? I don't want to jump into a short at the lows because I'm very much aware of the liquidity grab, of the fake out, and then the bounce. So let's talk about a short if you did not get into a short scalp right over here at 91,500, right? Which would have been a little bit, you know, not an easy short position. Let's take a look at Fibonacci here from the highs here of today, early this morning, to the lows. Yeah, 236 Fibonacci, very, very shallow. Very, very shallow. It is already a minimum target for a possible fourth wave, right? So we need to consider the possibility of that fourth wave completed and a fifth wave as well, which would be rare. It would be rare based on the timing. This is very one wavy, very fast in time. So I'm kind of speculating either in a higher low here and a movement up, or either a claim of the lows and a move up. Of course, this could be a B wave. And you know the thing about B waves, they are very, very difficult, right? Preferably you do get the double bottom scenario, right? Flat structure to claim the highs and then possibly move down. But B waves, you know, longing at 50% or 618 Fibonacci is very, very difficult. You are aware of the lows to be taken first and then move up. I mean, if that were to be the case, I mean, this is your best scenario and best risk to reward to the highs, right? Because you got a longer projection move. However, sometimes you might just form a higher low and then you do this and then you kind of miss the trade, right? B waves can be very, very difficult to trade. So the question is right now, right? Because for the higher time frame bullish scenario, preferably we do not take out that low and we form a three wave here and then we form a higher low and then we start recovering. That would be like for the bullish case, and we start pumping very aggressively with high volume and we do not stop, which doesn't look like it's going to happen. What would be the bearish case, right? The volume is very much leading to the downside. So we know that this does look quite impulsive. So I would say that we should be interested on the local bounce for a short. Now let's analyze very carefully regarding the impulsive moves, right? Because this, if we are taking into consideration that this is bearish, because I mean, it is bearish, right? We are moving down. We should take into consideration the possibility of a third wave formation. We got the first wave down, the second wave, third wave right over here, fourth wave and fifth wave, right? We are moving down very impulsively. The movements that are going up are very poor. So you do kind of expect I'll roll back down and hit the lows again, right? For anybody that is looking for the longs and longs, we should bottom out here, right? And then it just bounces and then rolls down and hits the lows again. You're like, okay, hey, you know, the trend locally is bearish, right? So we do understand that the trend locally is bearish. So what we want to consider is the downtrend, the local downtrend, right? So it bounces to take a scalp short back down to the lows are very much a scenario there, right? That we would be interested in, right? We are interested in that scenario. So we're going to go through that right away, legends. We're going to go through that right away. If we do form a higher low right there, or take out the lows, hit the daily, get a reaction bounce, right? It is a possibility. We could be looking at a possible long scalp right there. I would prefer the reaction on the daily, right? So this trading idea, let's just put it on the chart. This trading idea, it would be another liquidity grab from the lows. And I would prefer, instead of a swing failure pattern, actually hitting the daily and taking the daily into consideration for my long trade and stop loss beneath the low. And this only applies if you recover. Remember, you are entering that long position on the recovery. You're not setting a limit order because you could break down, right? We could break down. We need to see that bounce and recovery, and we need to have an attempt, right? This is basically a rejection point from a major level, just like this one right over here. You hit above the level, you start rejecting, you have an attempt for a short. So same applies for this, right? Could we get another move down? People are bullish because we've broken up here this small little, bearish structure. The people that are only looking for the bullish case, right? And they are speculating on longs. And then you have the liquidity here still. People are longing here, this breakout of this mini downtrend, right? Believing that this is going to recover. And then you hit the lows, boom, and then you recover, right? We want to be in that trade, right? We want to be in that long. So that is a plan. What should I do now? Now is remaining patient, right? For me, I am aware of this forming a higher low, but this would be for me a missed trade, right? You just don't long or short everything, right? So remain patient. I got a plan here. So I wait for the plan because I know where to put my stop loss. And it could be a trap, right? For the bulls right there. Believing that this is the recovery moment, right? We got a first little breakout. And then we're looking for that ABC move or 1, 2, 3, which could happen, right? Take it as your own risk, right? If you're entering a long position, you need to have some kind of stop. You can't stop here, have a far away stop loss or add to position, because if we break down, then you're getting wrecked. So that is poor risk management. Very, very poor risk management if you have that kind of strategy. So we need to remain patient, or if you're entering a long position here, just accept the stop loss here at the lows, and you could re-enter that position. And if this plays out and takes out the highs, you're making up that stop loss that you decided to get in from here, right? If you decide to get into this trade and put a stop loss here, you know that you got another trading setup here that could pay off your stop loss and actually make some profits, right? Because the projection is pretty good. But I would rather remain patient. I would rather remain patient, right? But anyway, you got a better plan down here. Other scenario, talking about the bearish case scenario, right? We are bearish today. There's no reason, right? There is a reason to believe that we could bounce from here, from that B wave here, inside of a ABC flat, right? A, B, C right there. We're going to start moving up here to 95K in the next coming hours. It is there. The possibility is there. The technical analysis, right, that does suggest that that could happen is there. However, what is not too convincing is this movement down, right? This is too aggressive, right? If this had to be an ABC, right, most commonly an ABC, right, you hit the 1 to 1, the 1, 2, 3, 6, 1, 6, 1, 8, but the 2 to 1, right, when you get the extension, the 2 to 1 is like, oh my, this is like classic aggressive wave 3 scenario, right? It's a classic aggressive target for a wave 3, hitting the 2 to 1 extension, which is 2 times longer from this wave, right? It's pretty aggressive for a C wave. But it's not an invalidation. It's just too aggressive, right? It just decreases the probability for this to be an ABC and increases ever so slightly the probability that this is a third wave and it's looking a bit more impulsive to the downside, meaning that we could go to lower levels, right? So, but the scenario is there. So if you are attempting a long here at these lows, you just need to manage risk accordingly, okay? Manage risk, accept that you have your stop loss here at the lows, right? You could get stopped out. You got another long position here, right? The recovery could happen and pump a few $1,000s. Just manage risk, legends, right? Manage risk. Bearish case scenario. We have a wave 1. We have a wave 2. We have a wave 3. We are in the formation of a wave 4. So even though we get this movement up, claiming the low, or without claiming the high, or without claiming the low, sorry, we need to consider this as a 3-wave structure. When we analyze very carefully these movements, look at this. Wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. It's, you can micro count here. This wave 1, it's pretty insane, but it is true. You got 1 wave, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And just so you get the linear move right there, just so you can actually see it. And then you have a 3-wave move right over here. 1, a 2, higher low. That's the higher low right there. And that's the 3rd wave. So you can map here the wave 1, the wave 2. You've got 5 waves down here. You've got 2, 3 waves here. So with this bearish case scenario, we do know that we have a wave 1 and a wave 2, or an A and a B, right? We have that secondary scenario as well. If this were to be an impulsive 1, 2, 3, and we are in the formation of a 4th wave, most commonly is longer in time than your wave 2, we need to be paying attention of how the price moves up to hit this high. And Fibonacci target zones. We need to consider them. Hang on a second. Why the heck do I have this daily level here? Oh, this daily was just tested today. We could back test that daily level. There's a daily level from last week that we just crossed through. There's no reaction whatsoever. Slightly little consolidation, but broke down. It could be a back test of the daily. Anyway, let's consider here the Fibonacci targets on this movement, right? So if we are speculating on a wave 1, 2, 3, I would really be on the eye of a possible short trade. Let's take a look at where the VWAP is. Session VWAP. Oh, that session VWAP is from that daily that basically crossed here with no problem. Okay, we got some confluence here. We got a bit of confluence. That daily level that was just broken today. And it was a fresh daily. There was no reaction whatsoever. We just consolidated ever so slightly. There was no major move down and recovery. It just consolidated and broke down. So we got the session VWAP. Just where we have that daily level that could work as a back test. Now, most commonly, your wave 4s are longer in time than your wave 2s, but they are shorter based on the Fibonacci retracement. Wave 2s most commonly go to 50% to the 7/8 Fibonacci. We hit round about 50% on this one, right? From the highs to the lows. Yeah, just ever so slightly hitting the 50%. And on this movement right over here, the wave 4 is going to be very interesting, right? Because we will have a 3-wave move, right? If we were to form a higher low or without a higher low, it could be a flat. Yeah, we need to consider the Fibonacci levels here from your wave 2 to the end of wave 3. This is really a very interesting level. 50% Fibonacci from the highs here of this movement down is actually where we have the daily level that was broken today. And for anybody that is new, with technical analysis and doesn't know what a daily level is, it's a daily close and open right over here. Look at this daily level. We've got a beautiful reaction on this daily, right? You got the daily close and the daily open. And after you open above and you move. So that's a daily level, right? Anybody that wants to ask those questions. And look, if you do get this daily level, which is the close and open, we had a beautiful reaction on the 8th of January. We ever so slightly dipped beneath that level and we recovered. We got a big movement up, right? And this movement was over $3,000. So you can see with that wick, how you dip beneath the daily and you recover above the daily. This is why if you get that reaction at the daily, you want to attempt along with your stop loss beneath the low, because you could get a nice projection to the upside in this case. We do have an untapped daily level, which is at 89.9K. So we want to consider this same strategy. Daily level, beautiful on the 8th of January. You dip beneath it. As soon as you get above it, it's a great reaction. We've got a nice little wick here. Nice movement up and recovery. You did came back down the next day, but the bounce did happen. So this daily level that we do have from today was broken. I mean, this one did not get a reaction. We did not dip beneath it and get back above it, right? Ever so slightly here, reaction, but we just crossed down. I mean, if you're attempting along here on the daily, your stop loss is like a magnet to the low, right? It's just there. Stopped out. Good to go, right? We look for another scenario. You don't want to hold on that short, that long, because you'll be burnt, right? Before you know it. So let's go back with a little bit of Elliott wave theory here and analyze this local move, because the 50% Fibonacci, which is very common for a fourth wave, is sitting where we have the daily level that was broken today, but could be a backtest zone. And even better if we have the 50% Fibonacci, which is a common zone for your wave 4, 382 to 50% Fibonacci is your common area for your wave 4. So it doesn't mean that we need to get up there and that we are going to go up there. It just means that if we do get up to that level with a bit of a 5-wave input movement here, and that's what we want to see, because in a C wave, we want 5 waves up. So if we do manage to come up to that zone in a bit of a 5-wave move, we want to consider, without a doubt, that short scenario, right? We're looking at 5 waves, 3 waves. This would be a 3-wave potential. And if we do move up in 5 waves, we are interested in that short on the reaction. I mean, I would take this as a swing failure pattern level or as a reaction level. You got the old daily level that could be a back test with 50% Fibonacci from your wave 3. And if you move right there in a 3-wave move, right, in a 5-wave move in this 3rd wave, it's the golden ticket, guys. It is the golden ticket to come back down and potentially complete that 5th wave. So there is a plan here, and it's all about creating plans, because I know a lot of people, like I said, hey, if you want to speculate that this could have a higher low, if you want a long, make sure to manage risk. The lows could be claimed. There is a better long position at the lows. But maybe that long, because you could form a flat, right? Boom, boom, bang here. And then I would be very interested in shorting this scenario, with no doubt, for the possible flat. You got VWAP as well. VWAP as well. The session VWAP is coming down here to the 50% Fibonacci. If we were to get up there, it's an interesting shorting level. 382 Fibonacci, it's a bit too shallow for this movement right there, but it could get a reaction. We really need to analyze the local structure here. That is if we do get a pump, legends, because we could be coming down and potentially forming the flat. Okay. Let's wait and see a little bit of all those levels. I'm going to go through the comment section, but the plan here locally looks pretty interesting. You know what would be quite bullish? All right. A bullish confirmation here. If your level on the chart does not get a reaction, we sit on our hands, right? If the price were to pump, let's talk about the bullish case scenario, which will be the potential of coming all the way up to $96,000. When will I be confident? All right. Instead of attempting to catch the lows and basically looking for, you know, speculating on the lows, right? What would be a sign of strength for me to say, okay, I am confident right now that we are likely going to come to $96,000? We would have to move to the golden pocket. We would have to retrace all the way up to $93,200, break above the daily, and I will be confident to say this no longer looks impulsive to the downside. We could be moving here to the upside to hit $96,000. Now, that's going to be, that's the confirmation level basically, right? This would be a confirmation. You're getting back above the daily, back above the VWAP, hitting the golden pocket, invalidating the impulsive move down. So this means that, yeah, you could get a pullback very aggressively, but I would be interested in looking for long positions, realizing that this impulse could be at the end stages, right? It's finished, which is not an impulse. It would be a three-wave move down. I mean, that would be a scenario. That would be a scenario. Okay, so moving down here, it's going to be very interesting. And then is when you flip with your bullish case scenario, looking at Elliott wave theory. If we were to form a higher low here, we would have to consider the wave 2, right? If we hold on here and we start recovering and we hit this level, golden pocket, we get above the VWAP, you know the deal, guys, here, right? You know the deal. You'll be invalidating the bearish case and you will be in a possible new fresh uptrend to come and hit $96,000. But we need to hit that level, right? As soon as that level is hit, you could be looking aggressively at some long positions. And with this scenario, that's if we were to form a higher low here, and it doesn't look like it, legends. We just need to come to that conclusion if it were to happen. We know that this could have been a wave 3, right? And a wave 4 possibility. And this would be that this correction would be the one that you would be interested in. But it looks like we're just going to come down, guys. There could be a volatile move down. We've hit the 0.88 Fibonacci, so it does, yeah, we're just likely going to claim that low. Let's see if we do get a reaction at the daily. If we do wick down there, let's check the reaction, because this is what it would be looking like. Okay, depending on that wick down, we've crossed the lows. Let's see if we're going to hit the daily. Let's see if we do not double bottom from here, would be ideal to hit the daily. And if we do not hold the daily, we just go to lower levels, legends. That's it. We're just about to hit the daily. Let's speculate on the flat scenario here, because the target zones is basically where the daily is. Quick reaction at the daily could be a possibility, legends. ETH died. Let's take a look at Ethereum, guys. Just tapping the daily, so let's see how we react at that daily. We're currently beneath it. Let's see if we do see a little bit of a reaction here. Currently getting a bit, still beneath the daily. Let's take a look at Ethereum, because I want to see Ethereum, guys. I want to see Ethereum, see how Ethereum is looking, because Ethereum looks like it is dead. Ethereum is dead, legends. And also Bitcoin, yeah, not managing to recover. I just want to quickly check Ethereum, legends, because, oh my goodness. I do hold some Ethereum, as you know. Ethereum, Chainlink, Altcoins portfolio, guys, is not looking good. It's not looking good. Overall, eventually, this is years of accumulation on Ethereum. So overall, it is profits. I haven't been buying Ethereum the last few months. Ethereum is bags that I'm holding from the last few years. But not nice to see this movement down. But Ethereum, yeah, Ethereum is dying, right? As somebody said here in the comment section. Altcoins rug pulled. Absolutely. I mean, I do hold some, my goodness. You know, my goodness. Holding some, yeah, this is like our entry zone right now. I accumulated some ICP at this range, at the $9-10 range. It's basically at break even. There's only a couple of, oh, we got a, yeah, daily level did not hold, right? Daily level did not hold. We hit the 0.236. Could we bounce right now from the daily? So we did not get a reaction at the daily. Could we get above it right now? It is very, very possible. Let's take a look at the extensions here. Maybe this is the moment that we do recover. 1.618. Yeah, there we go. We're getting a bit of a significant bounce. It's too far away right now for your stop to speculate on a daily recovery, right? It does not look great based on your risk management. Yeah, it's not the greatest based on risk management here. Let's take a look if we do have any confluence here where we did get that small little bounce. But obviously shorting down here, guys, is like, you know, I would want to see a little bit of a bounce, right? We want to see a little bit of a bounce, right? Have some levels and then short at higher levels, right? Entering a short here, speculating on the breakdown of the head and shoulder is dangerous. It is dangerous because we very much understand based on the Elliott wave analysis that, you know, we could be bouncing pretty aggressively. So the daily is getting the reaction. We just got a little bit of a wick down. Stop loss is a little bit too aggressive. It is a bit too aggressive, that stop loss. Not too great. Not too great here to put a stop loss. It is a bit far away. Not liking it for a stop. But yeah, if we were to move up here, I would still consider. I mean, if you can lower your risk here, legends, you know, you can use, you know, just in case the price does manage to successfully maintain above the daily, you just need to lower your risk based on stop losses a bit too far away as a reaction. And, you know, you are lowering your profit zone, right? As a 2-to-1, 2.5-to-1, you could, you know, take some profits here if we do reach it. But overall, risk to reward is not that great after this wick. I would be a little bit surprised if this were to be the end of the impulse and the price starts recovering pretty aggressively based on the timing, right? So yeah, overall, I mean, this is clearly a liquidity grab. Clearly a liquidity grab. Now, the question is, can we manage to sweep up the liquidity here? Right? The daily has, you know, basically been wicked down. I mean, this would be the moment that you would start seeing the price potentially bouncing off here to sweep up here above 91,800. I would be surprised, though, to consider this as an end of an impulsive move, just because the wave 4 has been very shallow in time and it's been very one wavy, right? So, I mean, it would be a very, very expanding flat situation, but I would still take it into consideration if the price were to recover here for that short. You know, if the price suddenly is going to recover in the next coming hours, say that we do move up pretty aggressively, I would still consider the possible short here on the bounce. So it's going to be, you know, this is going to be the guidance level. This is going to be the level where it's going to guide you to, you know, see if we are going to get rejected from the VWAP, from the daily backtest, from the 50% Fibonacci, right? Because I would still consider this low over here based on an expanding flat. I would still consider the possibility of a flat. Now, the only danger is right now is that we have, you know, you could technically count a 5-wave move down, right? And the risk that there is on a 5-wave move down here is that the bounce could extend a little bit more, right? Because you got a completion. This is if this was not to be a flat. If this were not to be a flat, and then you're getting resistance here and you're rolling back down to the lows to create that fifth wave, I mean, you can technically count 5 waves down now, right? You can technically count 5 waves down here. However, this has been a bit short in time and very one-wavy, okay? So I would be paying close attention on the movement up here. If we do move up above the highs, you know, coming to the VWAP, the session VWAP, you know, I would be, you know, very, very skeptical on that movement, because this would be a movement that people could flip bullish very, very quickly and, you know, speculate on a recovery, but then roll back down to the lows, right? It is the, you know, what you need to do is consider the local time frame. Let's get all of this Picasso drawing out of the way, and zoom in on the 1 minute time frame. Yeah, I mean, this does look pretty interesting for a recovery, I have to say. This movement looks interesting for a possible recovery, right? Because you got this scenario here. As we do have this movement down, I mean, this is a bit of an expanding move. Yeah, this is retraced too much with a lot of power, not too much volume, but regardless, the fact that you moved here in a very 3-wave manner, it looks very 3-wavy, and this is a retracement that's happened too quickly. So I think there's high chance that you could take out these highs right now, just because this does not look impulsive. It does look like a 3-waver, and this movement has retraced too much. So yeah, I think there's a high chance that we could be hitting these highs now after this big V shape. Let's go right away through the comment. I mean, this was the daily level, got a bit of a wick down here, a bit aggressive, right? We, you know, preferably we like that daily level to be hit and just get a nice little, you know, nice little wick of $100 or $200. But Bitcoin is coming very much a big, large, mature market, right? Where that has big moves of $1,000, right? And you might wick down $1,000 beneath the level of interest. But, you know, you did finally get a quick reaction. And the fact that you formed a 3-wave move right there, and a bit of a 3-wave move here, we really need to consider now how we're moving up. We need to consider how we're moving up here. Anybody that got into the long position on the daily, I mean, this is a TP1 zone. Huh? This is a TP1 zone, and I would be pretty aggressive on being defensive. I mean, this is a take profit 1 based on the reaction of the daily. It was a bit too much of a reaction. It was a bit of a too much of a wick, too much of a move. But the fact that this has moved like this is not impulsive. You don't have 5 waves down here. You got a 3-wave move down, and which is making me believe that you might hit the highs and then start rolling back down here in the next coming hours. So the movement up is going to be interesting here above this high. This is very one-wavy. If we do come down to the daily, I would consider a possibility of a back test. Let's take a look at CVD here, because CVD could guide us on a possible bullish CVD diversion. If we were to, now this is going to be very interesting, very, very interesting to see. That's if we were to roll down without taking out this high, okay? If we move down, I would consider a long as well. So, I mean, you don't have to be too defensive here. And the fact that I would consider this high being taken, if you don't take it out now, is that you retraced to the 0.8 Fibonacci. Yeah, so, you know, the probabilities of this high being taken right now is very, very high, either like this or like this. So a possible higher low here is on the cards. It's on the cards. Getting a bit of a move down now. What would be really epic is to get that bullish CVD divergence, right? Get lots of people shorting right now again. Get lots of shorts entering the market and form those lower lows, local lower lows, higher lows, and come and hit the highs. High probability that these highs are going to be taken on the lower time frame. Yeah, it could be. It could come and back test this zone, these lows, and the daily. It's going to be very interesting. I'm not sure what stock market is doing. Ethereum getting a little bit of a bouncy bounce. Nice little wick on Ethereum as well. Stock market is going to be looking very interesting. We got the stock market. Well, not doing much. Not that much volatility on the stock market. I want to take a look at the DXY, but most importantly, I want to take a look at the comment section, guys. Enough Bitcoin, right? We're focusing on the lower time frame. The fact that we have not taken out the high here, and we've hit the 0.88 Fibonacci, and this does not look very impulsive, right? It looks very three-wavy. There is a high chance that this pullback, if we do come down there, is going to maintain its ground to then move back up if we do not take it now in the next coming minutes. Anyway, it's time for comment section. I do have a little bit Blackish Monday, part of history. That is damn true, my legends. Smash up the like button, legends. How scared are you? Are you scared? Let me know in the comment section right away. Are we going to break down from the higher time frame head and shoulder structure, legends? Looks like that we're going to get above 91,600 potentially right now after claiming that daily level. That wick does look like that we're going to get that bounce, okay? Make sure to manage risk accordingly, my legends. Manage risk if you did get into the daily. Stop loss needs to be where it needs to be. Let's go right away through the comment section right now. Now, yes, we need to go through comment section. All right. We need to go through comment section. Say hello to the beautiful community. We need to see how this movement up happens, guys, because to flip bullish, it's not going to be easy right now to flip bullish, my goodness. Even though if we do bounce up to the golden pocket, because this could be a finished 5-wave move down, okay? Yeah, it's not going to be easy, even though if we do get above the VWAP and above the daily, you know, I would still be a little bit cautious. I'll still be a little bit cautious on the next movements because the higher time frame scenario suggests that, you know, this could be quite impulsive from last week, right? Higher time frame scenario does tell us, right, that what if this has been a WXY, right? It has been the corrective move. We just started the first wave of 5 waves down, right? I don't want to be the big bear here, guys, but markets are just moving down more aggressively than they are bouncing, right? This bounce is not bullish. The bounce that happened here throughout Friday and the weekend, this is not bullish. Come on. This is very bearish. This is leading the way down. So we need to see a lot of things to start flipping bullish, I have to say. We need to start seeing some gigantic pumps and big volume, right? Not too convinced right now. So overall, now that we have claimed those lows, I would say it would be rare to count this as a 5th wave, just because your 4th wave has been very shallow in timing, very quick, very shallow on Fibonacci. It's hit the 236 from your wave 2 end to the wave 3. It has hit the minimum target zone for your wave 4. It's just been very quick. So this is why I'm considering a possible flat scenario. I mean, if we do take a look at the target zones, I mean, 1.618 and an expanding flat in a B is rare, but come on, this is a volatile market. It's not an invalidation. It could still be there. It could happen. I mean, yeah, we're just basically at the 1.618. A running flat. Don't think so. We're likely going to take out those highs. Yeah, highs are going to be taken. I would consider that. I would give the chance that maybe this has been the wave 4, which would be very shallow in time, very low time. That it's a bit of a 3-waver right there, and that we have finished the 5th wave. I mean, if that were to be the case, we are looking for a larger bounce, okay? I mean, if we finished the impulsive move down here, we've finished the impulse. We know what happens when we finish an impulse, legends, right? We do get a bounce and sideways action, right? When we finish a movement down, we bounce significantly, and we just, form a little bit of a larger range here. Now, significant bounce. Let me know if you did long that daily, which was a little bit aggressive. We did move down aggressively from that daily level. Hey, where's the daily level gone? It's disappeared. Why did this daily level disappear? Who deleted the daily? A bit of an aggressive movement down here on that daily level, I have to say. But, whoever got into an aggressive long, we have claimed the highs of the range from that movement, legend. So if you did long that daily level, I would consider scratching off some profits from the from that long of the daily, okay? Would consider scratching off some profits because you hit the highs right now, and the market overall context is bearish. The market context is still bearish. So if you did long the daily, we love dailies, guys. We love dailies. This daily level got a beautiful reaction right there before we continued dumping, right? We got a nice wick up. Same movement. Daily level here. Daily level right there. Same wick. Daily level, same kind of wick up. That's what we do get with the dailies. I mean, this one was smaller. This one was a bit more aggressive just a few minutes ago. Not giving you a great stop loss based on risk management, but overall, it was over a 2-to-1 risk to reward. So you're overall targeting these highs. Yeah, we're coming up now to the VWAP. VWAP probably going to get a smaller reaction. Anybody that did long the daily, this was your TP1 zone, and your stop loss at break even has to, it has to be at break even now. Now, yes. Now you really want to start, really considering that long position here on the daily to be defensive with your loss. But TP1 was taking out the highs, and you can leave a moon bag to all-time high if you want. Leave a moon bag, guys. Anyway, let's go right away through the comment section, because it is time. Anybody that is interested in trading, Weeks Legends for me is a great exchange. It's a great alternative if you can't use Bybit. Bybit for me is number one. You got Weeks as a great alternative. You just need an email and a password. Check out the bonus down below, guys. You get fee discount. You also get 20K deposit bonus. The more you trade, the more airdrops you're going to get. If you scroll down, you will find it there. Weeks, just an email and a password, legends. It is time for comment section. Please take a look at TA on Ondo. Very nice bounce. Do you think it can be the bottom? Absolutely. Maybe. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at this one right away, legends. 1,700 people. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, sir. 1,700. How many likes do we have? Let's get to over 500 likes, and we'll be back doing TA and analyzing a little bit of the altcoins, okay? And first tip, most of the altcoins will do what Bitcoin does. That's it, right? So this is why we focus an hour, right, on streams on Bitcoin analysis, right? We were looking, you know, if we were to move down here, we're likely going to get a bounce. It would be rare to break down successfully, right? I don't think if we move down from here, we're going to break down successfully, because we either forming an ABC flat or we finishing the fifth wave. So a breakdown successfully here was unlikely. And long in here, the possible B wave was very risky, because we know that B waves could claim the low and move back up. But now we haven't got this AB flat scenario. We also have the possibility of a 5-wave move finishing, right? This is why I'm a little bit skeptical on this area, right? If we do hit the golden pocket from your wave 2 right over here, right, to the low of your wave 3, only if we do speculate that this is a flat, the moment you cross with this pump the golden pocket, which is right over here at $93,000, this wave to the upside will very likely be short-term bullish, and we are likely going to be forming any rejection that happens from here. You're likely going to take out this high at some point, but it's going to be difficult, because you could be forming an A wave, B wave, right? And B waves could claim the low again and hit the highs, right? So it won't be easy for that zigzag. You're looking for a completed impulsive move down and maybe a 3-wave move up here. So not necessarily hitting the golden pocket is going to be bullish to hit $96,000 right now, because it might be a completion of a 5-wave, and what we're looking at here is a 3-wave structure and then back down, right? So not necessarily it's going to be bullish, but if we do get up there with this movement, I would consider that we are forming a larger ABC move from this movement down that we had throughout today, right? And then roll back down possibly. If you did get into the long, guys, it's a moment to take profit here. The VWAP, session VWAP, is getting that reaction. I mean, yeah, without a doubt, we could consider this a flat. I mean, a flat scenario is still on the cards, and anybody that feels aggressive and still very bearish, this has just been a liquidity grab from the lows, from longs, and a liquidity grab from shorts, right? And now we back down to the lows. So I have to say, anybody that's feeling aggressive on this possible ABC flat, and is very bearish and does see the chance of rolling back down to the lows, I mean, stop loss would be still quite far away, because the proper hard invalidation of this short would be the golden pocket. I mean, shorting the VWAP, your golden pocket is your stop loss, because if you do hit the golden pocket, we're going to be ranging. We're going to be ranging here for a bit longer. Or maybe even pump, maybe do this and then this. It's very far away. I mean, risk to reward is not too great. 50% Fibonacci with that daily would be the ideal scenario. But because this B flat, you know, the B from the flat has come too low. Let's see if we do react at the 50%. I don't like this. I don't like this short, just because stop loss is a bit far away. And I am aware of this being a completion of a 5-wave. It's not easy. Not easy at all. The daily here was the best reaction level, because when we did the analysis at the beginning of the stream, we understand that this move, even though it was ferocious and it gets your heart beating, right? There was high probability. Anybody that has been on the stream since the beginning, you know, since we were moving down, it's a risky long position here, but it's a better long position at the reaction of the daily. And based on the waves, you have two scenarios here, which is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're completing a fifth wave. And when you're completing a fifth wave, usually fifth waves are not ferocious and you just get down the third wave for a bit and then you bounce, or you form the flat, which, you know, could still be the case. And that was purely based on the timing of this bounce, right? When you time the bounce and you see it very one wavy and you come straight back down to the lows, you know that you have a high chance that you're coming back up to that lower high, because the timing is important. The timing of the waves is important. And if you do not cross the 0.382 Fibonacci time from your start of the wave 3 to the end of the wave 3, then yeah, you basically know that if you have a one wave and you come down, that you have a high chance that this is going to bounce. We haven't even crossed the 382 timing from your wave 3. So it still would be shallow if you roll down from here. So ideally, what would be nice is get a bit of consolidation here, hit the highs again, and then roll down. I mean, that would be epic just in the next couple of hours, right? No, next 30 minutes, basically. Get an attempt in breaking out. And if you fail to break out that 50% Fibonacci, end the daily, very choppy, I would really speculate on another roll down here, guys. I mean, but we need that choppiness. We need a little bit of choppiness here where we have that daily and the 50% Fibonacci if we're speculating on the flat. Invalidation is the golden pocket of the flat. I mean, it would be a very expanding flat without a doubt, but still not an invalidation. Just rare that you hit the 1618 here on your B wave. But it would be ideal. Get a bit of a pullback now. Get an attempt, right? I mean, lower time frame is going to be classic here. It's going to be ideal. Geesh. Very one wavy here. I mean, I would go even to the 15-second time frame, right? Imagine doing, you know, pattern analysis and Elliott wave theory on the 15-second. That's when you're like really trying to figure out what the heck's going on here. I mean, that VWAP is providing resistance. You could really say, I mean, just because the timing here is in about 30 minutes, it would be nice. I mean, could you count this as a completion? I mean, this is the 15-second chart, guys. It's a bit crazy, right? It's a bit too low of a time frame to analyze waves. But it would be nice. 1, 2, 1, 2. I mean, it would be nice to get a bit of choppiness. Get one more wave here. I mean, this is extremely hard. On the 15-second, it's been very straight, very fast. We ain't gonna do 15-second. I'll lose my hair if we do 15-second analysis. So we don't want to do that. I don't want to lose my hair just yet. Andy, please, let's analyze Ondo, guys. Let's do some altcoins. We did get to 500 likes. Let's get to 600 likes. Is it time for altcoins, guys? For Bitcoin, we do have a few scenarios. I mean, a bit of choppiness here. That's what I would want to see for the long. The daily got the reaction, a bit of an aggressive wick. If you longed the daily, I mean, it is a move of almost $2,000, right? It was a 2-to-1 risk to reward, not that massive, right? But overall, it hit the target zone, right? You could leave a small position just in case price decides that it wants to break out for some reason, right? You know, in a big ABC move, right? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then things are going absolutely crazy. You're gonna get people very, very bullish, but the power is still to the downside, okay? Despite that scenario, despite moving up here. So anyway, let's see if we do get a bit of choppiness here at the daily and at the 50% Fibonacci from this movement down to consider the flat. If we do get a bit of choppiness, bam, we hit, we reject, we might form a double top. If we start dancing around at the $92,500 range, 92.6, we could reject back down. Let's see. Overall, nice move up. Bouncing pretty nicely. Let's go through the comment section. We got to over 600 likes, legends. Absolutely amazing. This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm just going to get some water and I'll be back in less than 10 seconds, guys. And then we're going through altcoins, okay? Now, yes, I got Ondo here on the chart, on the daily. Ondo, what a pullback. What a pullback. Where did we reject? At the 1.618 expansion, sorry. 1.618 expansion from this move. What a classic zone to reject after a breakout. We're going to be analyzing Ondo here. We're going to get a few altcoins and try and map the situation. I'll be fast with altcoins. It's going to be very basic and very straight to the point. Smash up the like button. Let's get to 700 and I'm back in less than a minute, guys. We are back. Woo, let's go. Like button going crazy. I sold at the top. You're an absolute legend. If you sold Ondo at the top or Bitcoin, I have to say, I sold 5% of my Bitcoin holdings at 90,000 and 5% ever so slightly above 100,000. I think I got about $102,000. Just 5%. I'm still holding 90% of all of the Bitcoin that I bought throughout the last few years. So I just got a bit aggressive. We need to take some profit. I didn't panic sell. We need to sell in a profit, right? Nobody went broke after taking profit. So if I've been buying Bitcoin at 30K, 20K, right? I need to sell some here. I need to sell. We need to, sell a little bit. Sell a little bit. Take some profits. Never sell all of your Bitcoin. No financial advice, but never sell all of your Bitcoin, right? Just take profits because Bitcoin, sky's the limit, baby. Let's go. Great TA, appreciate it. You're very welcome. We really focused a little bit on the lower time frame. I mean, the only scenario was bouncing from that daily level, which we did, 89,900. If anybody got into the long position, I would consider holding some. Take profit eventually, but hold some of the position. 20%, 30%. Stop loss could be very close to break even. If we suddenly start recovering very aggressively and we pass right now the daily level and the golden pocket from this movement down, the flat scenario gets invalidated and it's pumping at the moment, guys. If we do break 92,500 and hit 93K and we do not get the choppiness is going to guide us for the strength of this pump at 92.5K. But if we do not get the choppiness here and we hit the golden pocket, more reasons to hold that long position. More reasons to hold some of the long, because that will invalidate the flat scenario. And depending on the price action that is formed throughout today and tomorrow, because if we do hit the golden pocket and we move down like this and then we move up like this, I am going to consider that, this is impulsive and this is corrective. I will be taking more profits from that long position of the daily if we move up like this. I want to see power. I want to see power to the upside to hold on to the long. But if we do hit the golden pocket, which invalidates the short-term bearish case, then we're probably going to be rangy. And if we rangy and we start dancing around like this in between today and tomorrow, I'm taking all of the profits, right? If you did long the daily level. All right, legends, let's go through Ondo. It's enough Bitcoin. Enough Bitcoin. Let's go to Ondo. If you are interested in trading, 𝗬𝗫 is a great platform, legends. 𝗬𝗫, great platform. You just need an email and a password, okay? You got the biggest bonus with the link down below. Check out 𝗬𝗫. If you can sign up for Bybit, Bybit for me is number one. I've been trading there for over 5 years, but 𝗬𝗫 is a great alternative because you just need an email and a password, guys, to sign up. Check it out. Time to do a bit of Ondo, right? Ondo, we understand the reason of the rejection here. This is a classic corrective round formation. Cup in handle without the handle. Cup in handle without the handle. But this is a classic projected move. 1.618 extension, right? Expansion, sorry. Extension, expansion, revention, whatever. Expansion. Taken from the high to the low, you hit that 1.618, right? The golden ratio, as they say. Any Fibonacci freaks out there. Golden ratio. Fibonacci expansion, 1.618. Now let's try and understand, hey, is this movement down corrective or what's going on? You know, where's the low? Are we going to bounce? You know, all of those classic questions. I don't have a crystal ball. I do have crystal balls, but not a crystal ball. So let's analyze a little bit this scenario, legends, on this movement. I would be happy to say that what if we are forming a double 1-2 here? Because Ondo was created, right, in 2024, right, or even 2023. We only have, yeah, basically at the beginning of 2024. Got a massive rally here. Very, very nice. Very, very nice rally. Very nice correction. And this, you know, this was launched in the bull run, right? At the beginning stages, right? Mid stages of the bull run. And now we got this wave and this wave. And then we got this wave right over here. The speculation of a double 1-2. If we are in the cryptocurrency super cycle, Donald Trump president, money printing activity happening this year, liquidity cycle. If that were to be the case, then the most bullish case scenario here for Ondo is a very, very strong bullish project, is a double 1-2 scenario where you have your 1-2, your second 1-2 here, and this is going to bottom out somewhere in this range, and we're just going to fly in a third wave, 4-5, 4-5. We continue the bull run, right? There's not much chart here to analyze, I have to say. But if it is a double 1-2, what we're looking at is the low to the highs. Golden pocket is the one that is acting as support right now with this drop. So Ondo little bounce is happening at the golden pocket. Your lows right there. You got a high right over here. Not the most beautiful movement, I have to say. Not a beautiful movement. There's no way to map this out. 1 tooth ABC flat right there. But you got a low, you got a high, or a high. You got a low, and you got this high over here. Yeah, this could have been a completion of 5 waves. You got this movement. You got this powerful movement in a wave 3. Your wave 4 and your wave 5, creating another high, right? Big correction here on your wave 4, very fast. Wave 2 is longer. If wave 2 is very long, that turns a wave 4 very short. If wave 2 is very short in timing, it turns a wave 4 very long. So a little tip right there, based on Elliott wave theory. If your wave 2 is long, your wave 2 is short, your wave 4 is short in time. If your wave 2 is short in time, your wave 4 is longer. So you got a 5-wave completion right there, and now you're getting the devastating pullback, right? I would still consider this movement a pullback and this impulsive, right? This is a correction. This is impulsive. This has more power than this movement down. So yeah, I would still give the probabilities here to the bulls long term. Let's leave it that way, right? We need to give the prop. Nobody likes pullbacks. Nobody likes pullbacks. Everybody was, you know, shitting their pants back in the summer of 2024, right? We got a devastating pullback throughout the summer of last year. It was not good. It was not looking good, legends. It's over. No bull run this year. And then, of course, we got the recovery throughout November, right? Part of December. So, we are in bull market, okay? Even though it's a very crappy one for a lot of altcoins. Some altcoins are down at rock bottom levels from the bear market. I know, guys. You know, it's just like Illuvium, right? I'm in Illuvium. I'm down 20% on my holdings on Illuvium. Made some profit on some other ones. But we need to take a look at Bitcoin dominance as well, like legends. Illuvium, you know, when you take a look at these old gaming projects, it's not working for these ones, you're right? It's not working for these ones. I bought Illuvium at $40. So I'm down about, yeah, give or take 20%. I am the kind of buyer that doesn't buy here or doesn't buy here, guys. I try to buy at rock bottom levels, right? And even though I'm buying at rock bottom levels, I'm in a loss on this coin. Unrealized losses, but I'm not going to sell now. No way in a million years, right? This is a strong base. This is a strong base. And anybody that wants to DCA, this is a solid gaming project. There will be a hype at some point, but this is without a doubt a good buying zone. You know, this will recover at some stage. This is a good buying zone. You don't want to buy here. You don't want to buy the pumps. You want to buy the blood and a good base, right? Where you know there's not going to be too much sellers. There's not going to be too much sellers. The risk of having sellers in the market is when you pump aggressively. So you want to not buy when you pump, right? This for buying? Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. No doubt. But I'm not going to buy anymore. I bought at $40, so I just bought a small little bag just to diversify, bit of gaming project. But this doesn't look like it's in a bull market, right? It's all about being in the right niche as well, right? Being in the right cryptos, right? AI agents had a massive hype the last few months, right? Some of them doing 10, 20x, right? In just a few weeks. It's all about being in the right niche. But every niche is a bubble. Every niche is a bubble. Metaverse, AI agents right now, guys, stay cautious. Don't get into some pumps on AI agents because you're going to see some epic pullbacks on AI agents. I can tell you that, right? Which is an AI agent crypto. 𝗬𝗏 is an AI agent as well. AI agents are getting strong pullbacks, okay, throughout the week. Very, very strong pullbacks on AI agents. Some of them are doing their own thing. This one, ChainGBT, it's doing pretty good. But be careful, guys. Don't FOMO. Swarm was an excellent performer the last few weeks. It's down 50%. Do not FOMO into this, guys. This is a hype that there is right now. It's a bubble, and you're going to get devastating pullbacks, right? You don't want to be saying this is the future, right? It's going to take your job off, right? And you can create, you know, the AI agents is without a doubt a really, really interesting, very, very interesting, right? Because you have these AI agents online where you can ask, you know, you got from law, right? You got AI agents that cover, you know, they got AI agents that are doing music for you, right? And all it's, you know, it's just a big speculation. And when we see it come out throughout the last few weeks, my goodness, they're doing great. It's probably the top, right? It's probably the local top. So we don't want to buy AI agents throughout last week because we know it's probably at the top, right? When everybody's talking about it, it's been pumping. The ones that are, you know, throughout December, it's the top legends, right? It's the top. So not interested in this, guys. You're going to lose money if you buy these pumps on AI agents, right? So we are right now the level that we are taking into consideration, and we want the choppiness. Of course, we're pumping into the level I would not consider a short right now. The ABC flat scenario could get invalidated, and that we have a completed 5-wave move down. Yep, we're breaking through here. We're not creating any choppiness. We're just breaking through the daily. So we sit on our hands. There's no short to be taken here. There's no short to be taken yet. because we want to see the rejection and we do not want to hit the golden pocket. If golden pocket is hit, this flat scenario is invalidated. It's no longer a thing.